Giant short-faced bear, the apex nightmare. Imagine a bear so tall it could look into a second-story window. That was the giant short-faced bear, Arctidus simus, one of the largest mammalian carnivores ever to walk North America. Fossils show males stood up to 12 feet tall on their hind legs and weighed over a ton. That's like combining a grizzly with a forklift. But it wasn't just size that made them terrifying, it was speed. Unlike modern grizzlies, these bears had long, lanky legs. They weren't built for ambush, but for pursuit. Scientists believe they could sprint up to 40 miles per hour. Picture an animal heavier than a car chasing you faster than Usain Bolt. Their skulls were oddly short and broad, hence the name. This gave them an insanely powerful bite, perfect for crushing bone. Some think they were super scavengers, using their sheer size to bully dire wolves and saber-toothed cats off kills. Others argue they were hunters, roaming open plains and chasing down prey until exhaustion. Either way, nothing wanted to meet one. Why did they vanish? Around 11,000 years ago, as the Ice Age ended, humans spread across North America, hunting many of their prey species. Without a steady food source, the massive bears couldn't keep up. Saber-toothed tiger and scimitar cat, the sword-mouthed assassins. The Ice Age didn't just have one saber-toothed cat, it had a whole lineup. The most famous, Smilodon fatalis, roamed North America with fangs up to 7 inches long. Its lesser-known cousin, the scimitar cat, Homotherium, had shorter serrated teeth but longer legs for pursuit. Smilodon wasn't built like a modern lion. Stocky, with huge forelimbs, it was designed to wrestle prey to the ground before driving its sabers into soft spots like throats or bellies. Fossils from the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles show they often targeted bison, horses, and even young mammoths. The pits also reveal another secret. Saber-tooths hunted in groups. Hundreds of Smilodon bones suggest they were social cats, like lions, but way scarier. Scimitar cats played a different game. They chased prey in open plains, slashing with their scimitar-shaped fangs. Their bones are found alongside mammoth kill sites, suggesting they weren't afraid of elephant-sized prey. Why did they vanish? Likely a mix of human hunting pressure, loss of large prey, and their specialized killing style. When giant herbivores disappeared, their sabers became evolutionary liabilities. All right, I will be posting more videos here, so slam that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. This helps us to rank better in the YouTube algorithm. Dire wolf, the legendary pack hunter. Thanks to Game of Thrones, the dire wolf has become pop culture royalty. But the real version, Canis Derus, was just as epic. Living from 250,000 to 10,000 years ago, dire wolves were bigger, heavier, and stockier than today's gray wolves. Males weighed up to 150 pounds, with massive jaws that could crush bone. Fossils from the La Brea tar pits show dire wolves were common. Thousands of skeletons have been recovered. They likely hunted in large packs, overwhelming prey like bison and horses. Their jaws were stronger than gray wolves, adapted for bone crunching, meaning they could strip carcasses down to the marrow. But here's the twist. Despite their strength, dire wolves weren't closely related to modern wolves. DNA studies reveal they split from other canines millions of years earlier, evolving on their own path in the Americas. They weren't just big wolves. They were a separate predator dynasty. Why did they vanish? Climate change shrank prey herds, and humans arrived with weapons. Gray wolves, being more adaptable, survived. The dire wolves, specialized for mega prey, couldn't pivot fast enough. Mammoth and mastodon, the Ice Age giants. When people picture the Ice Age, they picture mammoths, shaggy tusked elephants that marched across tundras in massive herds. The most famous, the woolly mammoth, Mammoths primigenius, stood up to 13 feet tall and weighed 6 tons. Their curved tusks reached 15 feet, perfect for sweeping snow to reach grass. But mammoths weren't alone. North America also hosted the mastodon, a stockier elephant relative with straighter tusks and teeth, adapted for browsing leaves instead of grazing grass. While mammoths roamed open steppes, mastodons preferred forests. Humans loved both, but not in a friendly way. Archaeological sites show mammoths were prime hunting targets, providing meat, fat, bone tools, and hides. Some mastodon skeletons bear spear marks, evidence of human kills. Both species vanished about 10,000 years ago, victims of a 1-2 punch. Warming climates shrinking their habitats, and humans eating them into extinction. A few woolly mammoths survived on Wrangel Island until just 4,000 years ago, meaning pyramids were already standing when the last mammoths died. Giant ground sloths, the gentle behemoths. Forget today's tiny tree-dwelling sloths. During the Ice Age, North America had giant ground sloths, some the size of elephants. The biggest, Megatherium, stood 20 feet tall when rearing up, using claws longer than a human hand to strip branches. Despite their terrifying claws, they were herbivores. Slow but unstoppable, they lumbered across plains eating plants that no other animal could reach. Fossilized dung shows their diet helped shape ecosystems, spreading seeds in ways that maintained grasslands. Strangely, humans hunted them. Sites in South America and the southern U.S. show butchered ground sloth bones, suggesting we took down these gentle giants. Some even carved sloth bones into ornaments. Why did they vanish? Likely a combo of human hunting and environmental shifts. Their slow reproduction meant they couldn't bounce back once populations started shrinking. Camelops, America's lost camels. Believe it or not, camels aren't native to the Middle East. They actually evolved in North America. The camelops, which lived until about 10,000 years ago, stood 7 feet tall at the shoulder, closer to today's dromedary, but bulkier. Camelops thrived in Ice Age deserts and grasslands, perfectly adapted to dry climates. Fossils show they ranged from Mexico to Canada. Humans may have even domesticated or hunted them heavily, as bones show cut marks from butchery. What's bizarre is that camels, after millions of years in North America, went extinct there, but their relatives survived in Asia and Africa after migrating across the Bering Land Bridge. Why did they vanish? Again, the human-megafauna combo, hunting pressure and habitat change. Imagine the Wild West with herds of camels. That's what we lost. Giant beaver, rodents gone wild. Today's beavers are hefty, up to 60 pounds. But Ice Age North America had giant beavers, castoroids, 8 feet long and 200 pounds. That's a rodent the size of a black bear. Unlike modern beavers, they didn't have flat tails or build dams. Instead, they grazed on aquatic plants in lakes and rivers. Their enormous front teeth, up to 6 inches long, weren't for cutting trees, but likely for stripping vegetation and fighting rivals. Humans may have hunted them, but climate change reducing wetlands probably hit them hardest. Still, the idea of stumbling across a bear-sized rodent while canoeing is both hilarious and horrifying. American zebra, the forgotten horse. Most people think horses were brought to the Americas by Europeans, but the truth is, horses evolved here first. One Ice Age species, the so-called American zebra, Equus simplicitans, roamed North America around 3 million to 10,000 years ago. It looked like a cross between a zebra and a donkey, with striped patterns in some populations. They grazed in herds across grasslands, alongside mammoths and bison. Fossils found in Idaho earned them the nickname Hagerman horse. Humans almost certainly hunted them, as horse bones with butchery marks show up at archaeological sites. Combined with climate changes, this spelled the end for America's original horses. Ironically, their relatives thrived elsewhere, only to be reintroduced centuries later by Spanish explorers. If you've watched to this point, slam that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. This helps us to rank better in the YouTube algorithm.